So I wanted to talk about the top declining jobs anticipated with this technological shift that we are seeing now and definitely by 2030. Hi, my name is Dr. April Barrage. I am an economist where I talk about innovation, tech, in the economy in a way that is clear, accessible, and attainable. So let's get into it really quickly. So we see that we have postal clerks, bank tellers, data entry clerks, cashier and ticket clerks, as well as administrative assistants and executive secretaries. So why are these anticipated by the World Economic Forum to be the top declining jobs by 2030 with this technological shift that we're seeing in artificial intelligence and robotics? And the reason for this is these jobs are extremely routine, where you're doing the very similar task each day. Very simple. And they can easily be replaced with artificial intelligence, with a robot, and also just how people are communicating in society with technology. So for example, if we look at postal clerks, for example, sorting mail, addresses, that's very routine task, extremely important. So you could have a computer system, for example, with AI, read the mail and have it delivered to you. Then the mailmen, they typically run the same routes every day. And if you live in the West Coast, if you live in the Bay Area or you've visited the Bay Area, you see there are self-driving cars. And that's definitely going to rise for very localized transportation. So that is the reason why postal service clerks are up there. And then we have bank tellers and related clerks. And this is more so just because how people deal with money, and money is changing. It's going to be pretty soon that money, cash, is not going to be the main source of how we, exchange things, because remember, money is simply a form of exchange. And just think about how many day-to-day transactions you do on your phone. You have the Apple Wallet, you can use Zelle, and all these different fintech companies to even invest your money. So just think about how routine the bank tellers and related clerks are, and then people are just going to banks less for very simple transactions that 20 years ago you would have to go to the bank for. And then we have data entry clerks. Again, that is a very routine task, extremely important task. However, it's something that AI can replicate quite simply if we're thinking about basic data entry. And then same thing with cashiers and ticket clerks. This is just also how society interacts with how society decides to interact. Now, a lot of times you scan things by QR code when you buy a ticket. You can buy a ticket through different companies just online, StubHub, Ticketmaster, Live Nation, etc. So there'll be less need for cashiers and ticket clerks. And just given the nature of society, of how there's so much theft that's just going around, you're starting to see more businesses, they don't even accept any cash. And then there are even some companies where now we have to place the orders by going on the computer when we go to the restaurant and we place the order, or we go and, scan our QR code at the restaurant and we type in what we want. So that's one of the reasons why we'll see this decline in cashiers and ticket clerks. And then number 5, we have administrative assistants and executive secretaries. And again, very important jobs in terms of, maintaining people's schedules who are in these management, in these high level positions. And there's already people today that are being replaced that are in these positions because of AI. So people in senior level management, for example, there are some companies where they use an AI tool to kind of track the productivity of that senior level manager and help them manage their schedule. So when they get an email, it will scan the email and it will say things like, okay, you only need to spend 10 minutes on this particular task, 30 minutes on that particular task, and it manages the schedule and calendar for them. Their whole Python scripts that can that are developed around that. So that is one of the reasons why administrative assistants and executive secretaries, why those are going to be some of the fastest declining jobs. So it's not that these jobs don't have value, it's just the way that society is changing and how technology is very routine tasks. Artificial intelligence and robots will replace those types of jobs. And then that is just what we're going to see and why they're declining. So there's still going to be a process for them. It's just how that process is going to be done is going to look very different. And we're starting to see that now. So thanks so much. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and please like this video.